What can you tell us about what you're going to bring to Twitter now?
To make Twitter as inclusive as possible.
Elon Musk believes that free speech is vital for the functioning democracy. I agree with that. And what's interesting about this, we found out some things about Twitter, and one of the things that they like to do is shadow ban people. So they make it that your content has less impact, less engagement, limiting your ability to express yourself. And they ban accounts if that account says something they don't agree with. But we've got a movie star type of a superhero, Elon Musk. It is like a movie. Like if you had a movie and there was a guy who was the hero and he happened to be a billionaire and he does wild things. So keep watching to see how the social media industry has been affected after Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. Musk views Twitter as an essential platform for people to share opinions, and he believes there's a need to foster free and open discourse on this social media platform. Well, it's not difficult to know where the idea of acquiring Twitter might have come from. Musk is known to have a penchant for antics and somewhat unstable conduct, but there were times when he was unable to express himself, and he may have wanted to due to a code of conduct of social media apps. The opportunity to wield power and call the shots on the app presented itself to Musk on a silver platter, and the billionaire was not going to let that slip away. While making his intentions of buying Twitter known to the public, Musk stated he believes he can unlock Twitter's potential by taking the business private and relaxing restrictions on what users are allowed to post. He mentioned during a TED interview, "Well, I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech," he said. Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square, so it's just really important that people have both the reality and the perception that they're able to speak freely within the bounds of the law. For some reason, Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey shared the sentiment when he said that going private is the first correct step. So what changes should be expected? When Musk eventually takes on full reign and power and starts to wield his authority over the social media app, these are the things that we may be expecting. First, a relaxation of content restrictions in the interest of free speech. For one, some critics of Musk's idea of liberating Twitter users have voiced their fears he might enable extremist content on the site, which Twitter and other social media firms are working hard to eliminate. During his recent TED interview, Musk stated that content moderation is not a clear-cut problem and caution must be applied when dealing with such situations. According to Musk, Twitter should be very cautious with permanent bans, adding he thought timeouts are better. "I think we'd want to err on this. If in doubt, let the speech, let it exist. But if it's a gray area, let the tweet exist," he said. But obviously, in a case where there's perhaps a lot of controversy, you're not necessarily going to promote that tweet. I'm not saying I have all the answers here. The TED Talk that gives us an inclination as to why Musk must have bought Twitter. It may not be for money, as some people think. In fact, the billionaire debunked this claim in an interview and stated, "My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization," he said. "I don't care about the economics at all." Are we going to see Musk's theories and propositions being implemented immediately? Well, the answer is no. Yes, the purchase is made, but there is a need for details and documentation to be finalized, a process that could extend 3 to 6 months. Second, an introduction of an edit button to allow users to change their tweets. Edit button's one of the most often requested product modifications from Twitter users. From its inception, Twitter has differed from Facebook, Instagram, and other social media applications, and it's not possible to edit anything once it's been posted on the platform. Over time, Musk has been outspoken about allowing individuals to edit the content of their tweet, which has sparked a heated dispute among academics, journalists, and other heavy users of the social media network. According to some experts, introducing an edit button option might be exploited by criminal elements who would use it to cover abuse or harassment as though it never happened or defraud or manipulate others. Some others feel the edit button measures should be put in place to allow tweets to be updated to remove typos while also displaying a history of how the tweet was altered in order to preserve the original message. And third, opening up Twitter's algorithm to the public. Elon Musk has criticized the current working of Twitter and the secrecy of the app's algorithm. The billionaire has said that the software that determines what people see and how widely content spreads on Twitter should be cracked open. He supports placing Twitter's algorithm on GitHub, a site popular with programmers for sharing computer code. As with other of Musk's propositions, this one did not go without refute as well as support. While some proponents of increased transparency in social media business argue this is a step towards greater openness, others argue that disclosing Twitter's dense and intricate algorithm to the public will achieve next to nothing. They also believe the transparency of Twitter's algorithm to the public gives criminal elements the much-needed information to exploit the system. There are those who believe that if Twitter makes its algorithm public, there will be too much burden on the software engineers who may be overwhelmed by the app's intricate details. Well, only time will tell what will eventually happen with that. We can only speculate. Fourth is a war on spam bots. Musk is a major proponent of the elimination of the bots on Twitter. For those who may be hearing this term for the first time, bots are those fake accounts programmed to respond to tweets on specific topics. In his TED interview last week, Musk stated that he expects a massive crackdown on these spam bots, especially those promoting cryptocurrency hustles. He stated, "If our Twitter bid succeeds, we will defeat the spam bots or die trying." He also added there's significant need to authenticate humans. The gray area here is that Twitter already has a robust policy against spam, as it kicks against any attempt to influence any conversation or the app artificially. What new changes would Musk be bringing to the table? Only the man himself can give an answer to that, and it's only a matter of time. Fifth is elimination of advertisements. Currently, advertising accounts for about 90% of Twitter's revenue, but attracting advertisers to the site is an uphill battle. That's because Twitter devolves into political firestorms and utter chaos more often than not. No one wants to do business with them in that kind of situation. However, privatization could change that. There wouldn't be as much pressure from shareholders for Twitter to increase its advertising revenue continually. Musk believes that a token for a subscription could be the solution. Twitter recently put those plans in place with what's called Twitter Blue, which includes some additional features for a fee of $2.99. While this is in line with Musk's suggestion, the billionaire still faults the price. He says it should be cheaper and subscribers shouldn't have to be bugged with advertising. He also noted that Dogecoin could be an acceptable means of subscription. Well, that's a big ask, but with power soon to be at his fingertips, Musk will be itching to make those changes. Well, this is where we draw the curtain on today's video. So what other changes do you think Musk should make to Twitter? Let us know in the comments below.